Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Solidity Fridays. Today, I'm very excited for our episode. I'm joined by Joseph from OpenZeppelin, and we'll be talking about Safe Utils. Joseph, do you want to introduce yourself and explain how you got into secure blockchain development and your background a bit?
Yeah, of course. I'm super grateful to be here with you, and and yeah, my background is like I will explain first a bit like my background and how I joined at OpenZeppelin, so it can be helpful for others. But uh, I was studying electronic engineer, and then I realized that I wanted to move to blockchain because I loved the space and everything. And this is when I started going to global hackathons. Um, During 1 year, yeah, I was doing global hackathons. It was super cool because I was meeting people from around the world, and yeah, and I had a lot of fun. And then it's in one of these conference, like I was also going to conference like DevConnect, Prague, yeah, a lot of places. And then in one conference in Barcelona, uh, I met one person from OpenZeppelin, and it was super cool. Like he was explaining how Fortinet network works, and in that moment it's like OpenZeppelin team. I already was using like the contract from OpenZeppelin, but I love it like talking with him and the team, and he suggested me like looking to Ethernaut. Okay, so I did the Ethernaut game, and then it's when I joined OpenZeppelin, and when I started like doing more security stuff. Okay, and now I have been working for OpenZeppelin for 2 years. What I'm doing in OpenZeppelin is building tooling for security. In this case, for example, I built Safe Utils, but I'm also working in static analysis tools and other things inside OpenZeppelin.
Awesome, that's really cool. I was actually also studying electronic engineering, and then I switched to computer science to get into blockchain. That's interesting.
Okay.
Awesome.
There is some overlap.
Yes. So yeah, Safe Tools is a really important tool that I think people should start using, especially multi-sig owners with large funds. Maybe you could explain a bit about what it is and how it could prevent hacks.
Yeah, of course. So Safe Utils, it's a tool that it like the first version was created by Pesevarcho, okay, but he created a bash script only. And in that moment in OpenZeppelin, we realized like not everybody is technical. So this is
Mm.
why we created a UI in top of this script. We forget the repo. The repo is open source. You can contribute. But yeah, this is like the story behind that. And and yeah, why is very important Safe Utils, and it it could have prevented, for example, the Bybit hack and other hacks. Uh, this UI was created not for the Bybit hack, but for the Radiant one. So it has now 6 old, like it's 6 months old, the tool. But it's important because what it does is it helps you verifying that what you are signing it's the same that you see in the safe application, and that's critical and could have prevented, for example, the Bybit hack because you could realize that the data it was not the same that the one that you
Mm.
were seeing in the safe app.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially if you're on technical, you need that verification.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that was a huge hack. Shame. Yeah. um, would you like to maybe share your screen and show us a bit about how it works?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool.
Uh, so let me share my screen and I'm going to explain. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I'm just going to drag it in. There we go.
Okay. Okay, perfect. I'm going to now only show like the UI, but this is the Safe Utils app. You can find it also in the Safe app. They link it our website there, but you can search it safeutils.openzeppelin.com. Okay,
Mm.
and always verify that is this domain. Imagine if they if they attack also again like the Safe app and they change the website and they change this URL, maybe you are not using the correct one. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
that's
very
a really good
important.
tip.
And yeah, that's Safe Utils, and I'm going to explain first the script that we are using now, and it's the one from Pesevarcho. Okay, so kudos for him. You can go here and you can find the repository, but we are using this script that was created by Pascal, and I will suggest you to go through this bash script because it's very well commented, and you will understand what does it does like
Awesome.
this script. Okay.
Could you zoom in a bit?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much.
I will share it then later.
Okay,
First,
cool. Okay, cool.
I will do a demo, and then for advanced users, I will always suggest to run the tool locally. For that, you in the repo there are the instructions here that explain how you can run it locally. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. So why is important this tool? As I mentioned before, it's because you want to verify that the data that you are signing is the correct and the same one that you see in the Safe app, but also in your wallet. Okay, and I'm I'm going to do just a small demo, so you will see how it works and what we need to verify. But here we have two methods. We have the API one and the manual. The the manual one it's very useful because sometimes you cannot use the API. Imagine if the API is down, so you can still use the manual. Okay. Then you need to select the network. In this case, for example, I'm going to use Arbitrum, and I'm going to input this multisig that nonce. You need to input also the safe version. You can find it in the Safe app. Let's click continue. Now you need to enter the smart contract that you are interacting, if you are sending value or not, and the transaction data. I will leave it like this by default 0 because in this case I'm interested in just see like the final result. And here also you can find it in the Safe app, but I will just click calculate hash for now. Okay, so what we need to check when you are signing the transaction. Uh, in the Safe app, you need to check that the hashes are the same. Later, I will explain how can we calculate these hashes manually. Uh, but also, so it's very important that you check that. And what happened in the Bybit hack is they were they were trusting the Safe app, okay, and they they were okay. I see that in the Safe app. I think it's safe. And then in the hardware wallet, they were not checking that for example, the message hash was the same. Okay, so as a tip, I will recommend you if you are managing like this large amount of funds, always to check these things. Okay, it's very important. Like, and I will also recommend you a tweet from Patrick, who explains all the Harvard wallet in the market, and it's very useful. But in when you are signing, you need to verify that these values are the same. Okay, and also it's very important the transaction details. Okay, so for example, you need to verify that the smart contract that you are interacting is that one. Also the value, the data, the nonce, and so on. Okay, so that's what you need to do. and and now like I'm going to explain how the script works and what you should to understand more what's going on. Okay,
Awesome.
uh, so let me what I'm going to do. I already did it, but it's uh, going to take the fork from Pesevarcho and clone it in my repo. I'm not going to do that because I already did it, but here is the repo that we that I just cloned before the the call. Okay, so this is a bash script. So this is why we created the UI, no? Because not everybody knows how to run a bash script,
Yes.
and yeah, and we and also uh, we saw that it's important maybe if you can verify the data from your mobile phone, so it's like a two-factor authentication. They need maybe to hack your computer, but also your mobile, and that's even harder, no? Uh, so so in here we have different scenes, but what's the most important, I'm not going to explain all the things. I think it's very well documented, as I mentioned before, but we are going to focus in the three hashes that are the domain hash, the message hash, and the same safe transaction hash. And I'm going to explain how you can calculate these things. Okay, for the domain hash. Okay, for the domain hash, we can see here the calcul that you need to do, and it use
Sorry, can we zoom in?
yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Now,
Yeah, maybe a bit more. It's really small for some reason today. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
okay,
I can see the function now.
okay. So now it's here to calculating the hash. It's very easy. This is when you are sending a safe transaction, you are following the EIP 712. And this is also another thing. It's very important that you, when you are signing, that you use a wallet that supports this EIP, so we can decode the data. Okay, but the domain hash, it's simple. You are just hashing these parameters, and here we can find the parameters that are the domain separator type hash, the chain ID, and the address. Okay,
Is that the to address or your address?
this is the network.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Okay, and 1 second. Here I want to see this value. Okay, here we can see the domain separator type hash. We can also open it. Let me and you can see this is the. Can you see the code, or it's very small?
It's very small, but I can. If I lean in, I can see it. Oh
Maybe
yeah,
now it's
thank you.
better.
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay, so here we can see like it's the safe smart contract, and here we can find the domain separator type hash, and it's actually this value. Okay,
Okay.
if we go back to here, let me close that. Okay, here we can see the same. Okay, we can also see that we have the or one, and this is because the smart contract saves it's changing. Okay, so first was that value, and now it's another one. So we
I
need to
see.
see if you are using like depends on the safe version that you are using. We are going to use the all or the new. Okay,
I see. That's why you ask in the UI what version.
yeah, that's why we are asking, and also like it happens with the type hash. Okay. Okay, so let me go to the message hash. Okay, so then what we need to calculate is the message hash, and the message is encoding uh, encoding all the parameters that we see. Let me go back to the the safe utils. Okay, for example, that one. So what we are doing is encoding all these parameters. Okay, for the message. So when you are signing, you don't need to check all these values. You just need to check that hash. Does it make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So here we, sorry. So here in the message hash, we can see that is uh, we can see like so the two, then the value, the the data hash, and the operation that can be a call or delegate call and so on. No, okay, and finally, what we need to do is use like the safe transaction hash that we have here, and for that we can see like the prefix. This is because it's following the EIP 712. That if I open it here, let me open the EIP 712. I will suggest also you to check this EIP to understand more. So how you are signing this type structure, uh, but also here we can see in the in the in this EIP. So the in this case the can you see it or it's very small?
Yeah, I can see it. Thanks.
Okay, so the version we can see it's the 001 as mentioned here. Okay, and it will be good also to check this EIP, but also we can see the prefix that you need to put. Okay, when you are signing, and that's like this why it's adding these two values, and finally it adds so the domain hash that we calculated before, and also the message hash, and it's when you have the safe transaction hash.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I see
And
this uses cast and chisel. So if you wanted to run this locally, would you need to have Foundry installed?
yeah, you need
Okay.
Foundry to have to have it. If you want to run the version from PCVarcho, if you run our version, we are not using Foundry because we are using Ethers, the library.
Oh, nice. Yes.
But yeah, if you want to run this version, it's using Foundry. Okay,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
important. And yeah, like and this is like a simple script and it's doing that. Then he added more things, like for example, give a warning if it's a delegate call. Uh, like probably we can find it. Warn if delegate call, like, and we can see it here, no? So i- if you are if the operation is not a normal call and it's a delegate call, it gives you a warning. So the user is aware that if you sign this transaction, you are trusting you are doing a delegate call, means you need to trust in this smart contract, no? And he has more checks, like for example, gas token attack. There is like um, another kind of attack with the gas, and yeah, but I just want to focus on the important part, that it's checking these hashes, so you make sure that what you are signing is what you are seeing in the Safe app or in Safe Utils, okay, or in your wallet, or if you run that locally, you will see it in your terminal, okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
And yeah, like I would like to show how you can see these values in your wallet. I like So for that, I'm going to search just one image in that I saw the other day that I found like very interesting from K Stone Wallet. But just one second. Okay, so here we can see like uh, they improved their UI, okay, and we can see like when you are signing now the transaction before signing, so you see like the domain hash, the message hash, and the safe transaction hash, and this is like very important to verify that is the same that you are seeing in the Safe app, but also in Safe Utils. Safe Utils is just like another layer that helps you verifying the data, okay.
Yeah, that's cool. So it's quite easy to find actually if you check the wallet.
Yeah, yeah, and then like if you check the message hash, you don't need to check anything else, uh, but you can also check like all the parameters. But but yeah, it's not necessary, but because this hash is calculated using all the parameters. Okay.
Mm.
Okay, and that's it from from the Safe Utils like demo that I wanted to give. I would like also to mention that Patrick created a really nice post.
Yeah,
Let
like
me
wallet comparisons. Hey,
let me find it.
we will also link it in the description of the YouTube show,
Okay,
as well with
so
the EIP and the Safe Utils URL.
okay,
He posts a lot. Oh, there it
but
is.
yeah,
Yes.
it's that one and yeah, it's very useful because you can understand like the for the he did a review of all the wallets from the market. I maybe he missed some wallet, but it's very useful because you can understand the current limitations of each wallet. And yeah, for example, Keystone took the feedback from Patrick and they improved the UI.
That's really good.
So now it's clear what you are signing. And yeah, what I already tried Trezor and Ledger, and I think they are good wallets for signing.
Yeah, I
Maybe
agree. I
Trezor is
use those
more
too.
okay. Trezor is
Mainly
more
Ledger.
technical, maybe, and Ledger it's what I really like is Ledger Flex or Ledger Stacks because the screen is really nice.
It is. Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks. This is really interesting. Do you have any other tips that users could and multi-sig operators could use to ensure that they're safe over and above using a multi-sig and safe and checking the hashes with Safe Utils?
Yeah, I have some tips that I will say. Like, for depends on your multi-sig size, but for example, in the Bybit uh, hack, I will recommend always like that you have someone technical in the as a signer. I think it's very important that also all the signers understand what they are signing and maybe create like a paper that you can see the smart contracts that you normally interact because normally these transactions like these multi-sigs what they do is just normal transactions interacting with the same smart contracts maybe just sending funds to this wallet. So I will also like recommend to add this kind of checks uh, and yeah like more like also I would like to see limit like some limitations. For example, you cannot send more funds to to a specific address if and add like maybe a time lock, so you need to wait at least 2 days or
Yes, the
uh,
time locks are a really good one.
yeah, I would like to see these things implemented like in the industry. And thinking also like the threshold is very important. um, I would suggest at least, for example, if you have five signers have three three as a thresholder.
Mm.
uh, but if it's a more important multi-sig, probably also split the money between different multi-sigs. So if one
Mm.
multi-sig is compromised, um, like you don't lose like the same amount, no? Like
Yeah, that's
so.
good. Yeah, I know Coinbase does that. They have no one in Coinbase even really fully knows how many wallets they have, but they have hundreds of thousands, um, and it's just better security to split it up into smaller segments.
Yeah, I will really recommend that. And yeah, like I think it's very important for signers to understand what they are signing. Like this is, for example, Safe Util is good, but it's still technical. You need to
Mm.
understand what's going on. And I think maybe as industry, what we need to do is provide like better messages. For example, say, okay, we created a parser that says that this transaction is sending funds to this address, and that's it. Like uh, yeah, I think we need to improve a bit the UI because checking bytes, it's super
Yeah.
technical. Like,
And a lot of
imagine,
multi-sig owners are like, or like signers are like board members or non-technical people who will just see a hash and switch off. You're right.
yeah, yeah, that's very important. Like, not everybody's technical, and it's even if you are technical, like it's maybe you do blind signing because you trust Safe App, no, and and yeah, we
Yeah.
need to
Just
improve that. Like,
yeah, and just learn to not trust anything
yeah, it's very
and
important, and
verify.
this is why I mentioned that I will recommend also use the version from PC Versace because you are using a bash script. You don't depend on our UI. Like, it's cool. We really care about this UI, but if you can run it locally, it's
Yes.
better for you. No.
And like you said, someone can change it to like co.uk and people think, oh, OpenZeppelin's probably based in the UK. That's fine. It's a valid address. I'm going to use that. And then they hack that. And so
Yeah,
if they don't check it's .com and definitely the right URL, it could also be an attack vector.
yeah, that's very important because when we were implementing that, we were discussing with Safe Team like, uh, can we pass parameters to your URL? And we say like, yeah, we can do that. Will be easier for the user, so they don't need to input any value. But we discussed it with them, but doesn't make sense because imagine if the hacker hacked that and passed uh, like the wrong values and the user doesn't check. This is why we want you to go for this process, like copy pasting
Yeah, it's much more
the
secure.
values. Yeah,
And it
because
takes longer, but that's so much better.
in that process, like you are in this, at least maybe not understanding, but you are paying attention, like to that, no? And
Yeah, you can't do that blindly without thinking. When you copy something across and you see it's different, you'll realize.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
and
That was a good decision.
yeah, and as I think I mentioned in the beginning, but this is like open source repo. Like, some people are contributing. We are improving the website, so feel free to contribute. Like, I think it's great.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'll also link the repo in the description on YouTube so people can
Okay,
check it out and maybe contribute.
okay, perfect.
Thanks. This has been so interesting. It's such a good tool. I feel like we've covered everything that we should cover. It's quite a short episode, but unless there's anything else, maybe that's the episode.
Okay, perfect. If you have any question, like I can answer. Like, if
Yeah. No, nothing's coming to mind at the moment. Maybe on the YouTube comments, viewers can ask questions there,
okay,
and we can comment.
perfect.
Thank you so much, Joseph. That was
Okay,
really
thank you so
interesting.
much.
It's a really powerful script and a cool UI. Thanks for watching. This has been another episode of Solidity Fridays.